Hey, GlowBAEs Hey, I'm Ashley Shannon, and welcome back to the GlowBAE Diaries. Today we're going to be talking about energy vampires. This is going to be a two-part video. So in the first part, we're going to be talking about energy vampires, and then the second part, we're going to segue over into the memberships only section. So before we jump in, if you are new here, I do want to let you know that I do read energy. I don't read minds, GlowBAEs. Only you know your story. I, however, do not. So please take what resonates and leave the rest for another Bae on the block. Now, because I read energy, I could be reading you, your karmic, your third party child. I could be reading somebody that's simply trying to tap in your energy. But today, in this behind the veil reading, we're going to be doing a teaching. Just that the teaching part will be the only thing. But if you're interested in joining my memberships, we're going to have a new membership cycle starting August 1st. So definitely click the link down in the description box below if you're interested in checking out my memberships. If you want to find me on TikTok, if you want to purchase from my Etsy shop and purchase the GlowBAE Divine Alignment Oracle deck, my anointing oils, and all of that good stuff. So now that I said all that, let's just jump right into this behind the veil. So this behind the veil energy, we're talking about energy vampires. What is an energy vampire? Sometimes energy vampires can be ourselves. We may or may not know, because energy vampires, we have conscious, subconscious, and then we have those conscious one who are like the spiritual predators. And those are the people that we really need to be aware of. Those people who are consciously aware that they're energy vampire and they are literally coming to drain you of your energy, your light source, your material possessions, your destiny, the energy that you have promised to you in your birth chart, your whatever it is. They want to suck and drain that life force out of you and take it for themselves. So, what is an energy vampire? Like when we think about simply the energy of a vampire, think back. I don't know how old some of y'all are, but think back to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's my genre. That's the only, I don't know what goes on in because I'm hearing Twilight right now. I don't know what goes on in the vampire movies right now. But the predominant energy, if you think about the sci-fi, the drama, the horror, the false ideology or the depictions, the fictional, there we go, depictions of vampires, like in storytelling, it's all about draining the life out of someone for their own life, right? And so what I put here, I said, think about real vampires in movies. The goal is to suck the life out of you to give them more life for themselves. It's that switching of the energy, right? And so when you meet an energy vampire, especially those spiritual predators or those predatory type, their whole goal is to drain the life out of you or drain you of your life force. 333 was on the clock, so that they can take it and assume that energy for themselves. Okay, GlowBAE. So definitely think about it. Even those people who are subconscious energy vampires, those people that you notice in your life that are extra clingy, and not necessarily that are just clingy because they love you, they love to be around you. It's those people who are clingy to you because they don't want to deal with themselves. And your energy becomes a source of light. It becomes their source of happiness. It becomes their source of whatever it is. Insert that here for what it is that you provide for them. And that's where they become an energy vampire, where they want to, almost like a parasite. If you think about a leech, they want to stick onto you and suck off of you, and like you are the host. And they need you to feel happy. They need you to feel abundant. They need your money. They need whatever it is. And likewise for these spiritual predators, they need your energy, and particularly your solar plexus energy, if they want to manifest, if they want to get that spark, if they want to have the energy around them. For some of them, they don't have no damn spiritual gifts, right? And so they want to attach to your crown chakra. They want to attach to your third eye. They want to attach to your energy because they don't have it within themselves. Then you got some of these spiritual predators that do, like, it's so weird to me because I get these type of spiritual predators here. You got the higher level karmics that attack you. And once that karma goes back to them, or once the Most High sends the return to sender on that energy, now they want to mirror your energy, because it's like now they're getting drained of the same energy that they trying to drain you of. And now they want to try to attach to you again because they're depressed. They're in a lot of anxiety. They're in distress, child, and they looking a mess, and they want to attach to you because you're not looking a mess. And that's that whole thing with the energy vampire. Yes, they're not digging their fangs in your neck. However, they're digging their cords of attachment, their energetic tentacles, their energetic fangs, right? And some of you are aware of it, where some of you might not be as aware of these energy vampires coming in your energy and trying to literally suck the lives out of all the little children. Think about that movie Hocus Pocus, right? The whole goal was to give these children, those are the spiritual predator types. Honestly, Hocus Pocus is a good I don't know what made me say that, but Hocus Pocus is a good example of those spiritual predators, those people who practice different spiritual systems, but in the lowest of vibrations for their own uses, their own goods, their own personal vendettas. This is why I say people need to do shadow work before they start hopping into spirituality, before they start touching all these divination tools, before they start getting into the bippity boppity bullshit, because what they do out of their lack, out of their scarcity, out of their shadow side, is they want dominance over people. They want to they want victory over you versus with you, right? If you remember the reading I did on the GlowBAE Tarot sometime last year, I talked about these energy vampires, these people that want to make you their spiritual slaves. And those are the spiritual predators that they go hunting. You tell them your birthday, you go get tarot readings for these people. These people are your friends. You go into covenants, you go into groups, and they start learning about spirituality because of their lack in their scarcity, they start divinating on other people. They start looking in your energy. They start trying to figure out what you got going on. When you're in relationships with these people, then you leave them. You cut in the cord on their life source, or they want to attach a cord to your life source, your destiny, the things that were promised to you by the Most High for your own journey on this earthly plane. And those are the energy vampires, especially those spiritual predators, those higher level karmics that we deal with, that are intentionally seeking out people with certain alignments in their birth chart, certain elements in their blessings, their karmic blessings when it comes to material abundance and financial abundance. Sorry, my phone, I just saw my phone light up. They look for those things. They look for the feminines, that look for masculines that are wealthy or have financial abundance, or that are just genuinely good people, or the masculines that do the same, or the people that do the same look for people that can supply for them, that can take care of them. And that is that energy vampire. That is what an energy vampire is here. And I put here, they usually do this at the detriment of others. I say this in my readings that some of you have these energy vampires, and they attack you, they attack your union, and a lot of times they attack the subconscious ones, right? Because they get triggered. They start getting triggered because they're jealous of you, divine feminine. They're jealous of you, divine masculine. They're jealous of the connection. You break up with this person, you go into your divine unions, and they want that source. They see that happiness that you're creating. They see the lifestyle that you're creating. They see you giving to someone else. And it's literally sucking the life out of them because they haven't dealt with themselves. They haven't healed themselves. They haven't done what they needed to do so they can detach from the situation and move on. Like, carry on now. Go along your business and stop bothering people. But instead, they want to try to bind you up. They call the higher level karmics, the spiritual predator ones that know how to put you in the honey jars, or they teach them how to put them in the honey jars. They do the come to me spells. They do the come back to me rituals. Instead of doing the shadow work and saying, maybe this wasn't for me, maybe I need to move on and detach from this situation, they feel depleted of energy. And so they do whatever they can to get back into your energy, attach those cords, attach their energy, hover around you energetically to pull you back in. And it becomes at the detriment of you because your soul and your energy doesn't really want to be there. And so if we think about those people that use the love magic, the sex magic, and all other types of energetic interference and low vibrational energy interference, as I call it, that they start trying to force you against your will to come and do something for them, come and add so that they can add these cords and you come so that you can be their partner when you no longer want to be in that union. And those are those people who are like, it's like the conscious but subconscious in a way, because they're not dealing with the things deep down in their shadow that says, hey, I want to take this person and I want to remove them from their ability to use their free will 100% without the illusions and confusions that I'm casting over into their energy. And so you have to be mindful, because there are levels, there are level to this shit, okay? Who can be an energy vampire? What are the types of what are the types of energy vampires that we encounter in our everyday life? And I pretty much said there are two types. You got first of all, anybody can be an energy vampire. I used to say this all the time, and now it makes more sense. And I just have to be mindful, and I have to understand how to work through it, because I used to, and this is why I tend to detach from my friendships and people around me. And it's kind of like one of my toxic traits where I do be ghosting people, y'all, because I know that my energy is so overwhelming. And when I get into a low vibration, I've always said to people, I don't want to bring my shit around you, because I'm like a pessimistic Patty, a negative Nancy sometimes. And that energy can overflow into other people, or my attitude. Like, you see, if I got an attitude, it's written all over my face. Like, I can't hide my facial expressions like that. That is just what it is, right? And some of us are subconsciously energy vampires because of what we go through. Some of us are subconsciously energy vampires because our energy is just so strong that when we are around people, we can tend to drain people when we are in a negative or low vibration. Some of us are, like I said earlier, are subconsciously energy vampires because of our lack of doing our healing or our shadow work, and not wanting to deal with the pieces and parts of ourselves that feel empty. Remember what I said, that we want to do something for ourselves, and sometimes that becomes at the detriment of other people, that we want to fill ourselves up so that we feel whole, and we find a source outside of ourselves to pull on so that we can feel some sort of wholeness within ourselves. And that's what I found when I was really in my low vibration, when I was getting attacked. I didn't know about this spell work. I had to do a lot of shadow work. And I realized I was really in that stage 5 clinger energy. And I used to always tell my karmic that, girl, I don't know why I'm like this. Like, ain't nobody ever played me like this in my lifetime. Like, what am I going through? Besides the fact that the bitch was doing spell work on me, I needed to do some deep healing from being in a 10-year traumatic union, right? A trauma bonded situation, a karmic cycle, a lesson that I needed to learn from and move on and heal from. And I was trying my hardest to avoid the healing, do all these other things. And I kept running into the arms of karmic situations because I was trying to run away from myself. And of course, the Most High will line you up with any divine person to drain the life out of them. Let you and these karmics drain the life out of each other in distorted people. And that's what was happening, where I kept feeling drained by people around me. I was draining myself. I made myself tired. Like, I tell people all the time, the way that I became and started getting into the GlowBAE Diaries was because I was tired of myself. That's the only, I tell GlowBAEs all the time, you got to get tired of yourself first. And if you don't get tired of yourself, you don't get tired of feeling in a low vibration, you don't get tired of people using you, you don't get tired of that, then you're never going to stand up and claim your power. And I got tired of me feeling like this ain't me. Like, this ain't Ash. It has never been me to lay down and take people trying to play me. And that's what pushed me to try to figure out what was going on with me besides the mental health stuff. And I did a lot of shadow work, a lot of clearing out of the illusions, getting away from the energy vampires, understanding why I wanted to be around someone that literally did nothing for me and for my purpose, but I did everything to help them and push them forward. And we have these friends, we have these partners, we have these people around us. Those are the conscious. Sometimes they're conscious, and a lot of times they are, where they know you're very talented. They see the light in you, and they see what you can do for them, and they want to keep you again in that spiritual slavery energy where they tether you, whether they have a shackle on your feet or your wrist or on your solar plexus or wherever they got you shackled up at. It's a form of bondage. And a lot of times we call those trauma bonds with our friendships and our family and our partners, because they bond us to our emotions. They bond us to that low vibrational energy that we're in. And sometimes those trauma bonds could be subconscious, like my karmic. Him and I could still probably be good friends, but because of him not dealing with his own shadow, it becomes a trauma bond that he keeps trying to put me in. And I'm like, look, sir, this is not giving that. You keep trying to tell me that I left your ass and we left each other, and you're trying to put this guilt and this shame on me, and it's not giving that. Like when we were friends, and that's what we should have stayed. And we both did shit to each other, and you're not going to try to guilt me and continue to put this on me because you don't want to deal with yourself. I mean, narcissism is also a thing with him. I digress. But we also have those people, but that are subconscious, conscious. I don't know if he's conscious. That is beyond my purview to figure out, because I don't care that much to figure that out. But people, there are those subconscious people because they have so much trauma. And then you have the mental health issues or the mental health disorders or illnesses that can be compounded, or the lack of wanting to deal with whatever mental conflict that they're dealing with, where the subconscious energy vampire or the subconscious draining happens and they're not even aware of it. And it's not even in their, I forget what it's called, but it's called the stages of consciousness. And I used to teach it when I was in corporate. And there's 4 levels of consciousness. And one of the most dangerous areas for us to be as humans is not knowing what we don't know. Like, I don't know what I don't know. So I don't know what I don't know out here in these streets. And that's when it comes to spirituality, was the most dangerous area for me to be in, dealing with people around me that knew about the shadow side, that knew about the occult. And it became dangerous for me in my spirit because of who I am, in the light that I have. And for some of you GlowBAEs, and I mean dangerous in terms of like the spell work, I don't mean like, it could put me at harm depending on what's going on, right? Because some of these people do a lot of high level magic and sacrifices, and they do those sacrifices because it's a form of energy vampire tactic to try to sacrifice your energy, your light, for their use and their purpose. And they do all these things and they do all these rituals to try to steal who you are. And I forgot where I was going with that. But some of you have these lights within you. That's where I was going. You have these lights within you. It's like a moth to a flame. And sometimes you have these people that are subconscious energy vampires. Some of you don't realize that this could be past life enemies, past life incarnation cycles, and it's so ingrained subconsciously. And that's what I find a lot of my higher level karmics, or the karmics that I experience, or the karmics that even some of y'all experience, are past life issues or generational issues where their bloodline were going back and forth with your bloodline. And the hate that they have for you seems almost irrational, or the dislike that some of these people have for you is irrational, and the things that they do to try to drag you down, to drain you down, to pull at your energy, to put you in that low vibration seems almost irrational, because for some of you, this is past life energy, and this is where your light shines so bright in this lifetime. They're like subconsciously, what is the word? They're subconsciously almost addicted to trying to destroy you or drain you of that life force. So you have those types of energy vampires too. So I got here, before we head out here, I'm going to give you about 5. I can't remember because I gave my GlowBAEs in the membership the entire 1-page or several page document with the types. Honestly, I can look at it on my phone because I put it together and I have a document in my phone. And look at this. It's 2:33 on the clock. So we are right on time. And it was 20:02 on the timer when I said that. So give me a second, GlowBAEs. Let me pull this up on my phone And so I can tell you the types of energy vampires that I gave them a name, how you identify these types. And then I will go over into the memberships. We will talk about how you dismantle these types, even get into some more like spiritual hygiene, spiritual warfare tips. And then we'll get some tarot cards in terms of the archetypes on really identifying the ones that you all are dealing with here. So give me un momento here. Yes, surviving energy vampires here. So we have the types of energy vampires. The first type we're going to talk about is the chaos magician. This is the one I dubbed as the chaos magician. Whether this person does magic, hoodoo, voodoo, Ifa, Obia, Santeria, Christianity, Islam, whatever it is, in the low vibration, because those are all spiritual practices. All of those, whatever spiritual system, insert there, etc. They use them. They use whatever it is. They use love. They use money. They use whatever it is in the low vibration and try to create chaos around you, around your energy, and around the things that you're doing, right? And so I said, this is the type that deals with conflict. They deal with conflict. Their whole goal here is to cause chaos around your life, around this person's life. It's like they're the eye of the storm. If you think about the eye of the storm, that's where the calmness here is. And a lot of times you have these chaos magicians, but because they don't have any calmness in their life. And I say this, you have people that don't know how to control themselves in their mind. And a lot of times that's where it is. You have these people who have all this chaos and confusion in their mind, in their life, and they feel like they're losing control of themselves. And so they want to assume and control you. And so for them to feel out of chaos within themselves, they want to project that period. They want to project that chaos, that confusion, and that energy out into the world around them. These type of people tend to have a deep dislike, a deep hatred, disdain. They have that misogynistic and they have that sadistic type of energy where they literally don't like anyone who has something that they don't, or has something that mirrors their lack. Anything that shows them the areas in their life where they are struggling, where they need to be better, do better. If you go tell this person, like, I think you're a great person, you just need to communicate better, they might try to start creating chaos in your life in order for you to simmer down now. So you are now in chaos and show them, like, well, I thought you said that I need to do that, but here you are doing it too. But you don't know behind the scenes, they're the one creating the storm so you can be in the very same chaotic energy here. I put here that they accuse, they attack, they humiliate and triangulate you. They also go into the deep criticizing you. And some of these people do it so much so in front of everybody. You got these people that will start yelling and start accusing you. They go into this very like angry type of energy in order to command attention around them. Like those are the type of people that you always feel like, why are you so angry? And why are you pulling at people's anger emotion? Why are you always pulling at people's rage? Be very mindful that people who are trying to elicit and trigger you into arguments, those are chaos magicians, where they're always trying to elicit you and trigger you in some sort of struggle and some sort of battle. Because all that low vibrational energy that is swirling around them, they thrive off of. Low vibrational energy is high vibing energy to low vibrational people. And so anger, sadness, rage, chaos, danger, all of these energies that quite frankly are going on, wink, wink, in a society right now is the lowest vibration that fuels low vibing energy. And so the more that you disengage with these type of people, the more that you don't even engage with them, they tend to fall away because you're not even engaging in their fuckery and their bullshit that they're trying to pull you in. And that is one of the things that I noticed with, in particularly one person that will not leave my energy alone, that they're a chaos magician and they keep trying to pull at my energy, keep trying to pull me into this fuckery. And it's like, shoe fly, don't bother me. You're like a damn mosquito, like get the fuck on, right? And that's what it becomes once you start to notice what these people are, what they do, and how do you start recognizing, like, you live in your own land of chaos. And once you start noticing that, GlowBAEs, that's the real tea. once you start noticing that these people live in their own little land of delusion and their own little land of confusion, and they just trying to pull you into that, you're like, I live in the land of high vibration. I live in the land of truth. I live in the land of lies. And whatever you, excuse me, I don't live in the land of lies. And whatever you're trying to do to me right now, I can see behind that veil. And this is why I always say, live in your truth. Speak your truth, because these types of chaos magicians, if you have a secret, if you told them, if they know anything all about you, they'll use that. And we've been talking about that in the readings, where some of you got these exes, you got these old friends, you got these people who you've done, or they've done something, or you've done something, and they're holding onto these secrets and they're holding it over your head, and it's creating all this chaos around you because you don't want to deal with them. And that's how they transfer the energy and actually pull energy from you. And it makes them feel better to put you in all of this chaos. It makes them feel better to see you suffering just as much as they are suffering. And that's the type of energy vampire that we need to be most mindful of, because their whole goal is to pull you back in. And some of these types of energy vampires do a combination of things, that they'll try to put you in chaos so that you can reach back out to them, at the same time trying to put you in a honey jar to sweeten you to them so they can pull you back into your energy. So be very mindful, because some of these people, those are the spiritual predators, that they know what the fuck they're doing. And bitch, I see y'all. I'm not talking about y'all, GlowBAEs. I see y'all spiritual predators. I got the 4-1 on y'all from spirit, and y'all ain't low. I got the pictures. I seen you, Judas. Okay. All right. Sorry, y'all. So let's get back into it. I said there's a spectrum to their anger. I said it can range from belittling, yelling, cursing, throwing things, throwing tantrums, throwing fits, throwing hands with you. Like, it might get a little something with them, okay? But anything they're doing is trying to provoke you and pull you in. These are the people that start the rumor mills around you. It's like especially when you start paying these people dust, it gets even more chaotic for them. They're trying, like, it's like doing anything for clout. They do anything to pull out at you. And the more and more some of y'all know these type of people, the more and more you move away from them, and the more and more people move away from them, they're doing anything to get people to come into, like, they do anything for views. They do anything for people to call them. Those are the people who fake like something's wrong with them when you try to move away from them. Those are you got these, again, I can go on and on, GlowBAEs, but I don't want to keep going on and on. I put here, they inflict emotional damage by wearing down your self-esteem, and they aren't accountable for their actions. They try to wear you down. They try to wear down your emotions, wear down your mental space. They basically are, it's kind of like these people, they do whatever they can. It's like, I'm wearing you down, baby, so you don't have no more fight in you. That is them draining the energy of you. So be very mindful of the types of chaos magicians, or the people that always trying to pull you, or the situations that are always trying to pull you into chaos or pull you into that back and forth. And especially for those of you, I'm telling you, the spiritual predators of it all, they start getting into your birth chart. They start divinating on your energy. That's where I was going earlier. They start divinating on your energy. And they know, like, for example, if you're Mars, the energy that makes you want to go for war, right, is in a fiery element, or in an element that's easily triggered by emotions or whatever, they start divinating on y'all. And so they do these things intentionally to try to poke little holes and poke little tears, or they start poking the bear. And if you're not very in tune with your shadow side, that's why I always say do shadow work. And I've done a lot of shadow work, and I always do shadow work because I know my triggers. I'm very cool with my shadows. Like, what up, though? Like, I know my shadow side. And sometimes I let it out, and sometimes I put the padlock back on, because it's like, girl, you about to do too much. You about to do too much. And it's when I started to notice the pattern in my own spiritual warfare battles, my battles with my karmics, my battles with my karmic masculine, my battles with all these different things in my own life, I started paying attention. Like, all of these things, y'all want me to put the hands on y'all. Because that's my shadow side saying that, yes, put the hands and feet on these people, because Y'all don't want to know a story about me stumping somebody out one day and me not even remember that I did that. That's why I said, leave me alone. I'm missing like 2 screws out of 5. Like, leave me alone. But you got these people that will pull y'all in to this energy, and then that's where they want you to go back and forth with them. Don't get into it. Don't even go there. Don't even 33 on the clock. Don't do it, GlowBAE. So we're gonna go into the next type of energy vampire, which is the guilter. These are the people that are perpetually trying to guilt trip you. These are the people. Hold on, let me actually read what I said here. This is the type of energy vampire that knows how to make you feel badly about something by playing on your insecurities. And a lot of times we have family that fall into this category. We have mothers, grandparents, depending on you culturally. You can have family members in your significant others and your friends that tend to pull on your insecurities. It's the people that love you the most. It's the people that you know, even your spouses, even the people that you're in unions with. And this is why I say some of these people don't even think about it in that way. It's kind of like the indoctrination of it all. Like, this is where they're used to you doing things for them. They're used to being in that damsel in distress energy. And some of you meet these people as partners, as friends, and they've done this with everybody around them, and they meet you and you have boundaries. You have very high boundaries. And you're like, no, you got to take accountability for that. You can't, you're not always doing something accidentally. Sometimes you got to take accountability for that shit. And those are the people who are always trying to pull on your emotions and say, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, it was a mistake. You have these people at your job too, where they're always missing deadlines because they'll know you take on all the work. They'll know that you're the strong friend. They know that you're the strong kid in the family. They know that you're the provider and the protector. And you get these people where they're trying to guilt you into doing things. You have these friends that try to pull on you to guilt you into doing low vibrational activities. Just be very mindful, because you have those people around you. And it's not saying that sometimes people do it subconsciously. Sometimes you say, oh, well, I did that for you last week, and you could do it for me this week. I'm not saying that type of interaction can become an energy vampire. It's more so the frequency. It's more so the intense. And it's like the combination of, okay, you're doing this like all the time. It's draining me. How does this make you feel is the ultimate thing that you need to be mindful of. Is it draining me, or does it give me life? Does it make me feel worse? Does it make me feel better? And ultimately, you'll pay attention to this over time. With those energy vampires who are spiritual predators, you're going to notice that shit immediately, how you feel. Now, you in your intuition, whether you start gaslighting your own intuition, is going to be the difference of whether you trust your intuition or not. Because I'll tell you this, each time I've met a spiritual predator on this here YouTube app, my intuition told me not to. And my shadow side said, girl, you crazy. Go ahead. You need some help. How do you know you right? And that is where they saw the light in me before I even saw it in myself. And I don't want my GlowBAEs to be out here dealing with these spiritual predators, misinformed, and going to get readings and going to get these things. And I'm not saying that y'all can't, but just be very mindful. Like, I remember one time I had one of these spiritual predators sending me emails about who I am and all these things way beyond the fact of the reading that I got. So, bitch, why are you in my fucking energy? And that's when I knew I done got myself into some shit, because you're starting to tell me about something that I never asked you about. And that's where you got to be mindful of people that start divinating on you, start telling you something about yourself that you've never asked them about. And those are the people that are, in particularly, I had one GlowBAE that she said somebody asked her for her birthday and then they sending them free readings. Be mindful of people that are in your energy against your will. Why are you here? Why are you sending me shit about me? I never asked you about any of that. Once I do my readings, first of all, I don't even need your birthday. I don't need shit from you, but your questions. And so once people start getting into your birthday, your signs, and all of this, then they start pulling your energy. Oh, girl, I've been thinking about you. Why are you thinking about me? When I'm thinking about people, I try to remove them from my mind space. Okay. Be very mindful of people that's popping in your dreams, because let me see where I'm at on my list, because I want to talk about those. Hold on. All right, we got two more types, but be very mindful of astral people that happen in your astral space. This is something I'm going to talk on the next section with just my members. But astral attacks are high level energy vampire tactics. This is why you see your favorite readers in your dreams and you never dreamed of these motherfuckers before. This is why you see these people trying to knock up in your portals on your doors, trying to hand you stuff, trying to give you things, trying to get you to take things from them. Very mindful. Your energy is recharged when your vessel is at rest. Keep that in mind. And so your energy and your vessel is glowing. It's like a battery. You put the battery, where's my camera battery pack at? Right? You can't see it here because I unplugged it. But these are your, say this is you out here, right? It's your bed. My bed. It's your bed, right? This is you and your partner. At the end of the day, you charge up. You sit down for rest. Your battery is getting charged up. This is where they try to come in and attach the cords to your battery pack while it's charged up to drain it. So be very mindful when you sleep in and you see these energy vampires in your sleep, especially if you're waking up really tired, really groggy, with lacking of energy, they go into your astral space. So let me get through these last two types. We have the other type, is the damsel in distress. I was about to go there earlier. That's why I said, wait a minute, let me look at my notes. The damsel in distress. It's the person that always wants to be saved. It's the person, the asshole, not the asshole, the ass, A-S-K hole. The person's always asking for advice. They always got an issue. They always got a problem. And not just always got a problem. They always seem to have the same fucking problem that they always want to ask you for your advice for, but never have a solution, never seen. They always got a reason or an excuse why the issue is never solved. Be mindful of those people that have this perpetual, I want to be saved. I want to be saved. Nobody's coming to save you but yourself. And that's the biggest thing. Like, don't be super save a hole out here, GlowBAEs, because these people will keep draining you and draining you. I've been there. I used to have my karmic sending me text messages, emergency, emergency. Bitch, if it was an emergency, you take your ass to the damn hospital. And that's why I had to realize in hindsight that was an energy vampire that always get me to, let me help, let me save you, let me do something. You're grown as shit. We're all grown. I mean, this is channel for grown people. So if you're younger than grown, your parents are grown, and you need to get up off of here. Because I cuss a lot, and I don't got time for you to be listening to me. With your mom, your dad, your pappy, your uncle, your auntie, whoever takes care of you, or your caregiver, come in and write me in my email because I'm cussing that. Okay? But you have these people, I put here, damsel in distress. They have a poor me attitude and never take responsibility for their action. They believe people are always against them. Somebody's always out to get you, child. Everything's everybody else's fault. And nope, nothing is your fault at your big age, right? And I'm not talking about childhood trauma. And I always tell people childhood trauma is childhood trauma. We all got some sort of traumatic experiences. Even adult trauma is adult trauma, but we're adults. And at some point in your life, you got to say, this is my adult life. And I got to take accountability for mending the shit that happened to my little self. I got to take accountability for mending the things that happened to me at my big self age. And if I don't want to do that, then sometimes that trauma can flow over into my relationships and comes into this energy where, oh, well, I didn't know that. Oh, well, everybody's always against me. Everybody's this, everybody's this. And you have these internal triggers that you might not be aware of, and you need to address those, because sometimes everybody's not always against you. Sometimes you are fucking wrong. Sometimes you are right, and there are people against you. But without you doing your shadow work to clear the illusions away from you, you may never know the difference between what's real versus what's a trigger from your past. And I had a conversation with a GlowBAE the other day, and I was telling we were joking about these karmics. And I said, the issue is you have a lot of people that go to spirituality and tarot reading looking for answers when their answers are always inside of you. And the reason why that you can't figure it out, because you're too busy running away from your shadow. You're too busy running away from your truth. And so you're running towards these tarot readings and you get caught in the fog and the illusions. And the problem with that is a lot of people will go to the tarot readings that feel good. Will go see confirmation bias and never go towards the thing that is actually going to tell you what you need to hear versus what you want to hear. And you have those damsels in distress. Those are the kind of people that will argue back and forth with you. They may not want to be your friend no more when you start telling them what they need to hear to be a better person and to take accountability and to change their life, so they're not perpetually in this victim mentality that you can be in this damsel in distress energy. So the last type here, we have the silent one. These are the people who give you the silent treatment. These are the people, and I used to be this person because I wasn't really sure how to communicate. Like my communication sucks. Like it sucks. It's down to it's not trash now. So I'm working on it, right? But when it comes to communicating my emotions, I suck at it. When it comes to communicating how I feel, I suck at it because it comes from a place of trauma, of fear of abandonment and fear of rejection. And it's difficult to communicate with the people that I love about how I feel. So I just tend to go silent. I tend to, it's nothing wrong with me. It's no issue. But you have the people who do it to the point where they try to elicit a response from you. They go silent for you to try to keep, oh, what's wrong, baby? What's wrong? Let me see what's wrong. Let me do this. Let me do this. And they do it intentionally so that they can elicit and have you do things for them. Be very mindful of that. I said, another type of energy vampire is the person who does not verbalize their pent-up feelings. And by keeping their thoughts to themselves, they engage you in passive aggressiveness. Their silence is shouting at us, even invoking attention from us, and you end up spending an immense amount of energy trying to figure out what is wrong with this person. You spend an immense amount of energy trying to console them, trying to make them feel better, doing all of these things when the person could have simply said, you made me mad because of this. I don't like when you do this. I don't like XYZ. Or you came in the house this morning and you came in the house last night, you were on your phone with your boss, and I completely forgot I wanted to tell you about this and we missed the date. Whatever it is, or your friend, whatever it is, giving the silent treatment is trying to pull at somebody's energy subconsciously. So I think I gave you about 4 or 5 different types of energy vampires to look out for. I hope this really resonated with you, GlowBAEs. If you're in the membership, don't log off after I get my closing. So if you're in the memberships, definitely hold on. But if you are here just on YouTube, this is where we depart. I hope you enjoyed this section. If you're interested in the memberships, definitely click the link down in the description box below. Only join if you're interested in joining, because if y'all remember what I said in a couple of the videos, my life is going in an upturn, which is really good. The tables are turning in my life, and I'm getting more busy. I got some additional responsibilities in my life, which is really good, but it means that I'm have a little bit less time, but I want to still give you all. And so I'm closing out the second tier, my spiritual warfare tier, as of September, I'll say, so that way we can close out whatever we have to do for those of you who are in spiritual warfare tier. So if you're interested in joining my memberships, you can either join the free tier or tier 2. The prices are going to change, but tier 2, that means you just get a little bit more bang for your buck. I'm going to do some spiritual warfare things. We're going to switch it up. So thank you all for sticking around. And if you're in the memberships, I'll see you on the other side. That's all I have for you today. Don't forget the thumbs up, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And of course, hold on. And of course, don't forget, it's time for you to get your glow back, babe, and don't let anyone say otherwise. Bye, glow baes.